Wait, what if the most terrifying thing about a home invasion isn't what the intruder leaves behind, but what they take with them? Actually, it's even worse when they leave absolutely nothing. No fingerprints, no DNA, just a clean house and a phone call that suggests you're being watched by a professional. I thought showing the police a live video of a man at my door would end this birthday card mystery. Instead, it just proved that whoever is sending these cards doesn't just know my address, they own my reality. So, here's the situation. I'm standing in a police station at 3 in the morning, showing a desk officer a live feed of a man standing on my front porch. The officer didn't even blink. He just watched the screen, his jaw clenched so tight, I thought his teeth might crack. He looked like he was bracing for a car wreck. When the video looped back to the beginning, he asked the one question I didn't want to hear: is this live, or a recording? I handed him the phone, my hands shaking like a leaf in a hurricane. I told him it was happening right now. They dispatched units immediately, but that's when the real nightmare started. I was put in a small interview room, one of those classic, no-window setups where the only thing you can hear is the faint, annoying hum of the fluorescent lights. A detective came in, an older guy who spoke in that slow, measured way that's supposed to keep you calm, but actually just makes you feel like you're in a horror movie. I told him everything. Every card, every birthday, 4 years. I'd always thought it was harmless, you know. Just a weird tradition. But sitting in that cold room, I realized harmless was just a word I used to keep myself from losing my mind. He asked why I hadn't reported it sooner. I told him my mother did once, years ago, but nothing came of it. After that, it just became background noise. Like the sound of a heater kicking on or the wind against the shutters. You don't call the cops on background noise until it starts looking back at you through a camera lens. The detective left me alone for what felt like an eternity, probably just long enough for the adrenaline to turn into a dull, throbbing headache. When he finally came back, he closed the door with a click that sounded like a gunshot. He told me they didn't find anything. Literally nothing. He used the word clean. If it weren't for the video on my phone, there wouldn't be a single shred of evidence that anyone had been on my property. No forced entry, no footprints in the mud, even though it's been raining for days, and not a single fingerprint on the door handle. It's like the guy was a ghost or a high-level operative. One of the officers actually mentioned how clean the scene was, and that word just stuck in my throat like a dry pill. The detective's pause before answering if I was in danger was way too long for my liking. He basically suggested I shouldn't go back home. That's a heavy thing to hear, especially when your whole life is sitting in that house. I drove to my mom's place as the sun was coming up. I needed answers. I'd always assumed the cards might be from my dad, but my mom shut that down fast. She reminded me that my father died in a tragic accident before the cards even started. He wasn't around to send me birthday wishes from the grave. This wasn't some long-lost family secret. It was something else. Something targeted and deliberate. My mom was guarded, her eyes fixed on the kitchen table like she was reading a script only she could see. She didn't want me going back to the house either, and for the first time, I saw real fear in her eyes. Not for herself, but for me. It suggests that whatever this mystery is, it's rooted in something much darker than a simple secret admirer. Despite the warnings, I had to go back. Call it stupidity, or just the need for my laptop and a change of clothes, but I drove back to my place. I parked a block away, feeling like a spy in my own neighborhood. The house looked normal, boring, even. But then I saw it. The welcome mat was slightly crooked. I'm a perfectionist, I always keep that thing straight. I knelt down to fix it, and that's when I felt the resistance. When I lifted it, I found a folded piece of paper. The police had literally stood on that mat an hour before, which meant this note was placed asterisk after asterisk the cops left. My phone rang right as I touched the paper. Unknown caller. My heart was pounding so hard I could feel it in my ears. I answered, expecting silence, but instead, I got a voice. A man's voice, calm and corrective, told me I shouldn't have involved anyone else. He didn't scream. He didn't threaten to kill me. He just said it complicates things. That's the most terrifying way to be threatened, with a calm statement of fact. It's like a teacher telling a student they failed a test they didn't even know they were taking. He hung up, and I didn't wait around to see what complications looked like. I didn't even go inside. I just got in my car and drove. I didn't even look in the rearview mirror, because I was too afraid of what I might see sitting in the backseat. I've been living out of hotels for days, bouncing around, turning off my GPS, and sleeping with a chair propped against the door. I realized that going to the police was exactly what he wanted me to do, just to show me how useless they are against him. Every time my phone vibrates now, I feel like I'm going to have a heart attack. I keep replaying that voice in my head, how certain he sounded. He wasn't worried about the law. He wasn't worried about being caught. He was just disappointed in me. Like I'd broken a rule of a game I never agreed to play. I'm writing this from a diner at 4 a.m., because I don't think this ends with a card this year. If you've ever felt like you were being watched, or if you've received something harmless that didn't feel right, tell me in the comments. I need to know if I'm the only one. Like and follow to see if I make it to my next birthday. I'm not sure I will, but at least someone will have the record of what happened.